Hi everyone, it's Doug from Bjorn Territory, and in this episode I'm going to show you how I made these Guardian Idols for your Warhammer Age of Sigmar terrain. Catch you in a bit. Okay, to make the Guardian Idol tower plinth, what I've done, I've made out of like spare bits of plastic, just a box shape, 1.75 inches squared-ish, okay, and hollow on the inside, and that'll be used to create the base. Okay. I've also got a piece of hardboard that's a bit bigger, about 2 inches squared, I imagine. Just above, just over 2 inches squared. And it's got to be bigger than the plinth, and that's going to sit on that base. So, what's next? Using foam core card, I've cut pieces that are 3 inches tall and about 1.5 inches wide. Got 4 of them. And what they're going to do, they're going to sit inside the plinth like that. That's the stands for the tower. So on the pieces of foam I've cut, about a marking on either side, 1/2 inch line, or it's about 12mm wide, there and there. Okay, I do that on every piece. And then what I do, insert it into the side of the stand of the plinth. It's going to go, and make sure it goes all the way to the bottom. And I'll glue that in a sec. But before I glue it, between the two parallel lines, I'm just going to make a little arch area. And you can use something to mark it out with. Or you can do what I'm doing, just do it by eye. Get my Stanley or your craft knife, slice 2 parallels, and then what I do with the curve, little insertions, and then turn every so often. And then just check on the back that it's cut. Pop out the piece. I'll keep that for the next bit. Smooth off any edges that look a bit crimpled. And then what I'm going to do, use that as a template for another piece, identical. Cut that out and repeat it. Pop, boom, as easy as that. Now that all 4 are cut, I'm going to join the foam core together. So I line it up the side of the foam like this to get the width of a piece of foam. Mark it out with a line. Either do this by eye or with a ruler, safer. And you're slicing through the foam, but not all the way through. You want to get to the outer edge of card, but not all the way through. So just take your time. Come at it at the angle along the foam by the outer layer of card. And then you can peel off that foam that you've just cut off. You can get these scraggly bits, you can get rid of them. And the idea is that, there you go, I'll hot glue come that together. I'll do the same on the other side. So with the hot glue, a nice bead on the lower section. I'll just cut away. Get the outer piece, press it into that gap. And I'll repeat this on the other side. Take the other arch, make sure not to bend the arches, mark out the width of the foam. Carefully cut that edge away. Bit of hot glue. Arch goes in. The last bit's a bit different. I've taken away an edge on one side and the other, and then come in with my hot glue on both sides. Work fairly quickly. And then that fits in the top edge. What we do now, a little bit of hot glue in the inside of this, and we slide this inside. and it will look nice, and it's a tight fit. Slowly make sure it goes down evenly without breaking any of the arches. There we go. Okay, just to add a bit of feature to the stand, I'm going to add some coffee stir sticks marked to the length, or the height, sorry, of the arches. I'll speed it up a bit with super glue. Down the middle, stick the stick on. Oh, and then for the other one, same, and do it on all sides of the pillar. Okay, now to make the base for the guardian idol. So, as I said, I've got my little bit of hardboard, bit of hot glue, splurge it on, and what I'm going to start with is a bit of cork, just to give it a bit of texture on the base. Just need to check that my stand fits, which is cool. I'm not going to glue this in yet, but what I'm going to do is just mark out where the legs are. Pencil. Mainly because there's got to be a wall going through the middle of it. Okay, now for building the wall in the middle. Bit of hot glue, and I've got pre-cut bits of XPS foam. I just sliced with my knife and set along the side. So I've got the first layer in, and build up the next layer all the way along. Now I coat all the terrain piece in Mod Podge and black acrylic, bring it all together, make it stronger, a bit more durable, and then just using the grey to paint the bricks evenly, and in all the nooks and crannies. So I've made one of the models on top of the stand, a bit damaged, a bit worn, a bit broken, from one of the casts. And what I'm going to do is just going to paint that grey as well. It's a bit like a stone texture. Eventually. Next bit is to paint the stand white. Probably have to do a couple of coats to the whole thing. So I gave the edge a bit of a bronze. I'm just going to wash it with ripened flesh. Then I washed the rest of the entire thing, including the statue, in Nuln oil. Now that the base colour is dried, I come in with Sterling mud and I apply it to the base with a bit of thick texture of mud all over. Whilst the Sterling mud's drying on the base, I'm going to come in with a dry brush of white onto the stone statue. Just picks out some more of the details back into the statue. I also bring in a bit of white to dry brush on the stone. Try and use my time a bit wisely so I can do one thing whilst the other's drying. For the base of the statue, I'm just coming back in with white acrylic, focusing on the raised areas and then leaving the shadows in the crevices. For the bronze area, I'm just going to come in with a little bit of Retributor armour. So just to finish off, I added a bit of flocking and then a couple of tufts, and then glued it on with a bit of PVA to the base. I'm quite pleased with it. It was quite cool. A bit of dry brushing, a bit of flocking on pieces here and there, and there's a bit of a character. I made one damaged Guardian Idol, which was quite cool. Broke that apart. But from my other cast mini, I made two intact ones, which I'm quite pleased with. Same principle, all the making at the bottom, etc. is the same. Bricks, foam bricks are a little bit different. But the whole dry brushing technique the same. Yeah, but I've got 3 guardian idols now. Let's move that up a bit. You can see 2 that are intact, 1 that is broken. Yeah, they're all from my cast. Oh, there you go. They're all from my casting I did a couple of weeks ago. So I've put them to use. Might use them again for other statues or other things, projects I use in the future. For now, not a bad way to get a bit of terrain, something interesting on your tabletop. This casting is not for resale or anything like that. It's completely for my own terrain pieces that I make in hobby at home. Obviously not to make a profit or to sell or copy, just fun. Yeah, just for a bit of fun. Different technique, replicating the model made from bits and pieces, especially this dude, and how you can adapt it and use it for your own terrain pieces or diorama sets or pieces that you're using, scratch pieces, replicating things. As long as you're not replicating someone else's piece to then sell, I think it's okay, law-wise. Not too sure, but this is just a method that you could use for your own little pieces of terrain. Take care, bye.